welcome to the crack of dawn. It's been so long, maybe even after the new year. I mean, I think maybe after elections, after Christmas. I don't even know. But here we are. I'm back in the studio. I figured we've got to finish this this Nutmeg TV picture with Grant and Eileen in it, two big fans of the show, and not of just my show, but of Nutmeg TV. And they bought a painting of mine. Thank you so much. And they went to New York to frame it. And a lot of times when you get stuff framed, I think I've said it before, but the framer is usually the same amount as the painting. Yeah. So at first it's depressing for the artist, but then again, it's this whole nother trade. It's like a decorator. Everybody says, oh, Dawn, decorate my house. What are you talking about? I'm an artist. I paint pictures. I don't know how to decorate. I don't know how to cook. There's a lot of things I don't know how to do. So we are doing basically what I'm looking at. So like right now, I'm staring at you guys in the audience at Nutmeg TV. And every time we have 3 cameras, 1, 2, 3. They have more cameras here. They have like 4, 5, 6, 7. But right now we have 3. And the one I'm staring at is actually this one over here. But I'm going to make it look like I'm staring at the one in the middle. So what I'm going to do is just put a red light there because, you know, that's what I stare at. That's how I know that you're there. I hope everybody's been great. Still had a lot of problems with the healthcare. I know nobody wants to hear about my health problems, but my God, it's crazy. I just got a passport. I went to apply for a passport because my daughter, she's graduating. She's a senior in high school. She's graduating. We don't know where she's going to go, but she's going to go to Europe. And I was like, okay, she's the only one, 17, in our family that has a passport. So I thought, I can't send her to Europe and like not have a passport. That would be so bad. So I went to get my passport and, you know, I did the whole thing. And the lady was like, I'm like, oh, you know, how long until the passport takes? And she's like, oh, like 6 to 8 weeks. And I'm like, that's faster than an MRI. Like, I'm not kidding. I got an MRI on November 5th. I don't know about any of you that had an MRI at Jefferson Radiology. Nothing against them, but come on. You know, I'm trying to get other doctors to look at the pictures. Pictures were taken November 5th. Now it's January, no pictures. So I said, bye-bye, I'm going to New York City. So I got a new doctor from a referral, of course, and he immediately got me an MRI the next week, and it was done, quick, easy, at New York City. Still waiting on the one in Farmington. Not their fault, I guess, but still, when you're like, I'm kind of, you know, I'm not that old, but I feel bad for people that, like, if you're dire straits and need a doctor and you need pictures read, like, there's something going on. So I just left Connecticut. And I don't really care if I have to pay out of pocket because health is more important than money. So anyway, when you mix red and white together, it makes pink. So it's not going to be a great look for this camera thing that I'm putting here, but I'm going to do it anyway. Yeah, so I go to New York City. I stay with my friends in Rye, which is very nice. And we go to the Rye Roadhouse, and I hang out with their 6-year-old and make, sorry, Ellison, he's 9. Well, I think he just turned 8. I was just there. But we made paper airplanes, and we like decide where we're going to shoot them. I'm like, mine's going to land on the kitchen table over by the microwave. And I mean, if you can make a paper airplane good, I can. I'm very good at it. You can have a lot of fun with not only your own kids, but grandkids. And you got to make it good, though. You got to make a good paper airplane. Look online. It's got to be totally aerodynamical, perfect. And if you fly that thing right, you can like land it on certain places. You can make like little paper things in the sky like my dad used to make, and the kids would fly them through them. But I had a lot of fun making paper airplanes. We had fun, and then she drove me into New York City like it was nothing, you know, because I can't drive into the city. I get too nervous. I get too nervous on these roads, especially where I work in Hartford. We've had so many homicides on New Britain Avenue. I think 5. Gosh, it's been crazy, and that's pretty much my journey to work. So it's scary. You don't know what's going to happen. But anyhow, hope everybody's been great. I'm just doing this painting. So this is what I look at right now, what you're seeing. It might be boring to you, but this is what I'm looking at. So I'm looking out. Everything's very dark, dark, dark. So I'm using a lot of black. Again, I've got a whole array. As I told you before, I'm a big fan of the blue brushes at Dick Blick because they're cheap. So, whoops. So like this brown one might be a little bit more expensive, but I go for these blue ones. And so if you're going into Dick Blick and you really don't want to spend a lot of money, but you want good brushes, these are great. They come with this little plastic thing on the top. It's very hard to put back on it, so I would recommend no. And then At school, we keep our brushes tips up. You never want to keep your brushes tips down because it wrecks them. So tips up are good, but also if they have a lot of water in the embankment kind of thing right here, just like a regular paintbrush, the water gets stuck in there. So best way to keep your brushes are flat. Yes, just like a wine bottle. I think I've said it before. So we're going to keep plugging along here. I mean, it's college season. My daughter's applying everywhere. I mean, I always say, why go and tour a college when you haven't gotten in yet? And I mean, a lot of people are going to disagree with me on that, but I don't know. I don't want to like tease my kids. Oh, let's look at this great school that I went to, and then, you know, you can't get in, or you're not going to get in. So I just say, you know what? Apply to what you're going to apply to. No sense looking around. Wait till you get in, then we'll go. And my son, same way. He got into a few places. We looked around. One of them we didn't like at all. I mean, we left right during the orientation, as a matter of fact. And then my daughter, I don't know. You know, money's a big issue with colleges. I mean, my husband and I was saying, you know, we should do what Elizabeth Taylor and Richard Burton did. We should just like get divorced, and then it looks like we're on one income. We could even say like single dad raises the kid. Woo, that looks really good. It sounds awful, but it's so true. There's so many ways around it. And then the common denominator is, you know, how much money do you have? So we fill out the financial aid. I'm just going to do these cameras. I mean, they're pretty much, you know, square. But again, all of the common denominators have a lot to do with what you're going to get into. You know, sometimes you just don't know. Some of these smarter kids are getting into these not so great colleges, and some of the kids that are like trying so hard aren't getting the places that they want. I don't want my kids to go too far, you know, but again, it's not my decision. But it is funny because I thought, you know, Tony, we could get a divorce. And he's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, and then after the kids are done with college, you know, Elizabeth Taylor did it. I don't know how many times she married that guy, but it was definitely a love story. But it's like, okay, you know, if it's going to help your finances and your kid get into somewhere, you know, because you're on one income. And then if you're rich, forget it. You know what I mean? You may as well just double the profit, you know, double it if you want the kid getting it. It's just weird. I don't even know what to say, but we're not playing those games. We're just kind of, you know, waiting to see what the kids get into. There's a lot of black going on, but again, there's also a lot of gray. And so I'm going to be very careful with what I'm doing here. And try to make these look as real as possible. And if you're really filming right here, this is pretty much what it looks like. These cameras are brand new. They're beautiful. I've got Nate Dion. He's directing tonight. It's usually Rich Conestraro, but it's Nate Dion tonight. And he's great. I got here, you know, I don't know, like 20 minutes ago or something, and he had everything ready. And he's like, oh, sorry, I got to do the lighting. We got to move this closer, move the table. And I'm like, no, that's your job. Like, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do the camera, the lighting. Like, these guys here are like pros. Now, again, I have a million brushes to choose from. And I don't remember what Eileen was wearing that night, but I'm going to put her in some like basic clothing. I don't know about Grant either. I think Grant had a beard because I kind of see it going here. So I'm going to put that on. And I might give him a mustache here, just a little. Just going to make it look like, you know, it's somebody sitting back here. Okay, and we'll put Eileen here. You don't have to put the whole face because they're really far away. Okay, so it doesn't have to look perfect. But, you know, you want it to look like people. He looks kind of cool. He kind of looks like Graham Nash. I don't even know. Not in person, but in my picture. So, yeah, we got a little bit of snow. I was up in Rye, New York for that part of it. Rye is a really great town. It's very fancy, but it's also not far from Farmington. So I would say I'm going to think an hour and 20 minutes it took me to get there. And they live like right where that playland is. It's like a Lake Compounce, but fancier. If you've ever seen that movie Fatal Attraction with Glenn Close where she cooks the rabbit, she takes the girl out of the school, remember when the guy doesn't know, and she takes her to the amusement park, that's Playland. So it's very fancy. And my friend Georgia lives like literally you can walk from her doorstep to Playland in like less than 6 minutes. So for a 9-year-old, I think he's 8. Ellison, I'm sorry, I always forget. It was just his birthday, but he's so mature that I don't even know. people think lights are yellow, but they're not really. They're more white. But if you want to take some white and mix it in with yellow, you can kind of do this kind of thing, okay? And when lights are shining, they're going down like this. They're kind of going everywhere. And if you want to make it look real, you have to make it come out like a sunscape kind of thing. I'm going to put a little bit up here. I mean, it is television, so you want it to look like lights, camera, action. My son just went down to Wesley Chapel, Florida, for a whole week and stayed with his friend Joe. They had a great time. They landed. They went to a Buccaneers game. Then they went to Tampa Bay Lightning like twice. Then they went to a Miami Heat game. Oh my God. Then they went to the horse races. So he asked me my bets, but I wasn't ready. So I didn't really have anything ready. But what a great place. So, you know, those of you who want to move to Florida, I don't know. Definitely wouldn't want to move to California. And here's what I'm going to say about California, not to be mean, but when Hawaii burned down, the fact that California just happened like now and like they didn't have anything, I don't even know. They're saying they can't use ocean water because it wrecks the equipment. I get it, it's salt water, but it's better to wreck equipment than somebody's life. So I just think like you've got an ocean, you've got hoses. I built my parents one of those like fish ponds, and the water just kind of came out of another pond, and whatever, with a little bit of power, it kind of worked. But I don't know. I'm not an expert on what happened, but I just think it's kind of weird. And then after Hawaii happened, not to be awful, because like I said, I'm not an elected politician. I never would be. Nobody would vote for me anyway. But I just think it's kind of weird. Like they say, okay, we only resort to the ocean water if we have to. Well, don't you kind of have to? And then it's right there. Like if you were in like Utah or like Kansas or like, I don't even know, the desert, like what are you going to do? So I don't know, but it just seems like the Florida thing kind of disappeared real fast. It was like everybody was like, oh my God, Florida, you know, Hawaii. And then that was like forgotten about. And now this is happening, and I don't know what to say. I have no idea. All I know is that I have a lot of these back surgery things, and there's earthquakes in California. So like, whatever, you shoot me in the back and there's an earthquake, and maybe it's not going to go in the right place. But what if you're having a shot like in your brain, and the surgeon is trying to do brain surgery, and there's like a mini earthquake, like during the surgery? Like, whose fault is that? Like, all of a sudden, mini earthquake, shots going in to like shoot you in the brain or whatever you're getting done, and then, or teeth or whatever. I mean, any surgeon. I just can't imagine living in California, having mini earthquakes all the time, and being a surgeon. I'm trying to think of what else would be an awful job if you were trying to get something like really accurate. I mean, an artist, obviously, but whatever, you can start over, but can't start over with that. So I just thought it was weird. You know, learn from your mistakes, but I just thought it was weird. I was like, wait a minute. Everybody just stopped talking about California. I mean, Hawaii. And then all of a sudden this happens. And this is going to be a really fun painting. They want this to hang in the studio, unless they hate it, but I don't think they will. Yeah, so that was weird. I just thought that was odd. And, you know, I have friends in LA, and I don't know. I don't know much about LA. I don't know much about California. All I know is I wouldn't want to deal with the weather conditions and stuff they have. I mean, we have the snow and everything here, but it hasn't been that bad. But anyway, my prayers to everybody. I've got a lot of friends that had to leave, and I don't have really friends in Pacific Palisades, but I do have friends in LA, and I don't know the territory too much. This is the ESPN thing that they donated to Nutmeg TV. I'm just going to try to like clean it up a little. Doesn't have to be perfect. It's very dark in here. Yeah, so I thought that was weird, but I just like, oh God, I hope they do use the ocean water, because, you know, even if it wrecks the equipment, of course it does. It's salt water. It wrecks everything. Water in general wrecks everything, you know. Fire and water wreck everything. But I would say water's terrible. Terrible to rebuild, terrible to have a plumbing problem or whatever. I don't really know. All right, I'm going to do this dark here. It's coming along. I'm getting some more colors in because it really was so dark that it doesn't, I can see my shoes sitting over there, but I'm not going to put them in. Actually, I will. So I changed into my fancy shoes. And over there, I have those like slippers, and they're from Temu. Oh, I love Temu. I can't even believe how great it is. I got a coat that they were selling at Nordstrom's. Same coat, Temu. It just didn't have the tag. I just couldn't, nobody believed me until I like literally compared. And I was like, look at this thing. It's like gorgeous. Bought my sister an air fryer for Christmas, and they love it. I thought she was going to throw it out. And she's like, this thing is great. I go, I told you. We don't like to cook in my family, like at all. It's not that I can't. It's just I don't really like it. So if you don't like it, chances are it's not going to come out good. You have to be, you have to really like to cook, and that's, they always say the love is in the spoonful or whatever they say, and not with me. I don't like it at all. No, I can. Tony did our Christmas dinner, and he was so busy that he forgot, like, when you like cook something and you've got too many things going on, you forget, like he forgot the salad. So we had like 3 heads of lettuce in the fridge with the carrots and the croutons and all this stuff, and he just forgot, and I should have been a better hostess, but nobody cared because he cooks great. All right, I'm just gonna like kind of clean up these cameras a little bit. Yeah, I've been watching some Nutmeg TV. There's been some great shows on. I've watched Christine's Corner. She has some great people on there. Some of the artists, I know the chef from the Delamar, he's great. I haven't seen him on too much, and I only go to the Delamar once in a while, but I mean, the food is amazing. And everybody goes crazy over Fleming's. I really haven't gone there. I mean, maybe I went once, but people really do go crazy over Fleming's. I'm just going to go around the background like here, because there's like doors and stuff. I don't want it too black, so remember, don't worry if you're not as steady as I am with the brush, because I've been doing this forever. And don't worry about mistakes. It doesn't matter. And then we're on this like music stand, see? They found this music stand in the background. We just have it on there. So you don't really need anything fancy. Not really. Now my coat is kind of hanging over this chair, so I'm just going to put my coat there. And then my shoes are over here. You can't really see them. And then we're going to put these black lines in here because they really are a little bit darker. I couldn't believe when I went to get my passport. My MRI was done on November 5th. It's January 12th. No, sorry, 13th. Now you're not gonna see this show until like the 24th because we don't film live. They get it all together. They don't edit unless I'm a really bad person, but I'm not. They don't really have to edit mine, thank God. I don't think they edit anybody's really. I think it's just like a thing that you do here. You just kind of sign the rules. There's like a little, if you ever want to come and do a show on Nutmeg TV, there's a little rule chart that you have to follow. I mean, it's not a big deal. Some people like to break the rules. Yeah, I don't really like to. So I try to, keep it clean and stuff. But there's other people who've been on the show that are hilarious and fun. I'm just putting these dark lines here because that's what's there. I can't even see if there's ones going the other way, but I'm going to put these in. And we just need some, so when we hang it up, it's going to be a good painting. I'm going to put Eileen's hair back in, and I made her face look pretty bad. So I'm just going to cover it up with and I brought these. Yeah. These are always great, these wipe things. Now, you can buy the Clorox ones, but I just buy these Walgreens brand. Oh, speaking of Walgreens, you won't even believe it. So my kids put on Amazon their Christmas lists. I don't know if it's typical boy, girl, or what the heck it is, but my daughter had a billion things on the list. The boy had nothing. So I thought, oh my God, I don't even have anything for him. So I went to Walgreens. I walked in the door. It was Christmas Eve. People everywhere, shopping, shopping, shopping. I started at Walgreens. Great store, by the way. Tons of things on sale. I just started shopping, and I was throwing everything in the cart. Gift cards, anything. Then I kept my eye on the cash register, and I kept looking over, looking over, looking over. As soon as the cash register went to like one person or two people left, everything in the cart went right into the line. Grabbed a few gift cards on the way out. The lady goes, "You just walked in here 4 minutes ago." I go, "I know. I can't even wait to see how much money I spent. I'm going to go with like 2 $250 in 10 minutes. So she's doing it all up. Meanwhile, don't forget, I got $200 gift cards at McDonald's. So that's $200 right there. And everybody's $200 at McDonald's. Well, guess what? I don't cook. I don't like it. McDonald's is great. Who doesn't go to McDonald's? It's so great. And so we just go through the drive-through. $100 is a great card to get for McDonald's. So that's what I got. So I go through $409 at Walgreens. Do we have 10 minutes, 5 minutes? That's it? I can't even believe it. So thanks, Nate. Nate just came with a big card that said 5. So she goes, $409. She goes, you just walked through the door. I go, well, you should see me grocery shopping. I can't stand it. My husband, Tony, I mean, if you ever see him in the grocery store, you should probably say hi to him because he's just hilarious. He's in his own world. He loves it. I'm just making Grant's hair a little lighter. And I'm going to make Eileen just a different, like, kind of skin color here. Okay, here we go. But yeah, if you ever see him in the grocery store, say hello to him. He's in there forever. He loves it. He could spend hours in the grocery store. Me, forget it. I'm in and out. It's not my thing. I don't know what Grant looks like. He looks like Russell Crowe in The Gladiator. So cute. Eileen, I'm going to give you like a, I don't know, I'm going to give you like a kind of greenish shirt. Just so we have some color going on here. Even though you weren't wearing that, I'm just going to give you like a greenish kind of shirt. It's going to be really cute. Okay. She's adorable. And she's like a little teensy thing. So I'm just going to make her a little teensy. And then I'll give her some black pants. You know, you can make this stuff up. Plus, when you're doing stuff like this, it really is stick figure. So watch. I'm just going to do pants. See, I'm going to do another leg here. And then she had some cute little boots on or something. I don't even know. We'll put those on, but that's how she looks. So cute. And thank you again for buying my painting at Miss Porter's. It was so fun. That was a great show. I'm going to just try for another show. I'm not really sure what I'm going to do yet. I mean, Kentucky Derby is the first Saturday of May, and I'm pretty good at horses. I kind of get sick of doing them, but every horse is different, and every single time the Derby comes, there's usually a new set of horses. So, you know, that's fun. Jockeys stay the same. The silks change, but the jockeys usually are the same jockeys that are in the Derby every year. Not always, but pretty much. You got Smith, you got the E-Raz, you got John Velasquez. He's my favorite. No girls, again. Oh, well. They can ride in different races. Actually, there's a twin, Dylan and Ashley, maybe? My dad said they're twins. They both ride well. But you really rarely see the ladies riding the horses, especially in the Derby. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in with a little white. You always have to have white, okay? School's good. I'm back in school. They're hilarious. We are doing, we're doing Martin Luther King Black History Month. And it's surprising, but everything's racist. You know, so we're doing Steph Curry right today. And I'm like, you know, the light's hitting him a little differently here. He's a little lighter over here. Ah, you're racist. I'm like, you need to stop with this. I mean, come on. It's called light hitting the skin, you know? And if you really look, you know, it's just funny. But you got to get through this stuff with the kids, and you just got to be honest. And it's not a big deal, you know? It's nothing about that at all. It's about matching colors. So we are doing, we just did Martin Luther King. I got 2 minutes. We're going to do Morgan Freeman. And then this African-American I worked with was like, we can't do him because he did something weird. I'm like, really, what? So we looked up a YouTube, and I said, all right, forget it. We're not doing Puff Daddy. But it's funny because we're trying to do like Black History Month, but not necessarily like Booker T. I mean, absolutely Booker T. Probably one of my favorites. Martin Luther King, of course. We'll do Harriet Tubman, but you got to do people that are like alive and out there. We're doing Mary J. We are doing, let's see, who else are we doing? We're doing Drake, even though he's half Asian, it's fine. It's Black History Month, so we are doing portraits of everybody, and they were going to fill the school. And we're even doing Bob Marley. If I can find a appropriate picture of Bob Marley without doing his, you know, normal activities, then he will be a part of our our display. But it's really fun because it's really interesting, and they always come up with people. And they you know, a lot of times they want to do people that aren't such a good XX extension. I'm like, I don't think so. Yeah, so it's fun though. It's fun. My job is fantastic. I love it every day. You should see the people I work with. So if you're ever looking for a job at MD Fox or Hartford Public Schools, I'll tell you, I love it. If it wasn't for this back problem, I'd be great. But I love my job. My people are great. My principal's great. My kids are awesome. You know, we have our challenges and everything, but so does everywhere else. So I'm really happy where I am. I think we're going to wrap it up because I don't think we have any time left. So we are going to say goodbye. Thank you for tuning in to the crack of dawn. Oh, Coachy's coming on soon, but he won't be coming on next 2 weeks. So 2 weeks from now is going to be like around January 27th, 28th. If anybody wants to come on the show, I would love to have you on. So thanks for tuning in. Thank you, Nate Dion, for directing tonight. And I'll see you next time on the crack of dawn. Woo! I think it's looking good.
Nutmeg TV has been providing community television for over 30 years. We needed some studio upgrades, and Ion Bank believed in us. As a result of Ion Bank's financial help, we've been able to help others move on in a field that's difficult to get experience in. You're working with partners who understand who you are, and Ion Bank does that. They walk with us every day. It's community banking at its best.
The Saybrook Fish House in Canton has been serving fresh seafood, chicken, and prime steaks for 40 years. Experience one of our 3 unique dining room settings, 2 with fireplaces, or relax in our cozy pub with a craft beer, wine by the glass, or specialty cocktail while enjoying a meal from our new lighter fare pub menu. Serving lunch and dinner Tuesday through Sunday. Reservations accepted for parties of 2 to 42. Gift cards always available. The Saybrook Fish House, nestled at the crossroads of routes 44, 202, and 179 in Canton.